more time. Right, we're here today. We're here to see what the sentencing is for the despicable humans. I'm not even going to call them humans. I'm not even going to call them animals because I like animals. Of Jamie Varley and John Fazakerley, however you pronounce his name. If I've got his name wrong, boo-hoo, don't care. Don't respect the guy. So they were obviously found guilty for the murder of baby Preston. Now, Jamie Varley was convicted of numerous charges related to physical and SA after the trial at Preston Crown Court. Just let me know getting sticky, you're probably the one that'll let me know. Well, anyone can let me know, really. If there's any internet problems. And you, Katie Beth's Law, let me know what's going on. Right. So the guilty charges for John, because I said this signal's okay, right? Thank the good Lord above. Okay. The guilty charges for John are as follows. Right. Hold on a minute. Sorry, Jamie first. I'm all over the show here because of what just happened. Right, murder, sexual offences including assault by, I hate to say this word, but it is what it is, by penetration and SA of a child, physical abuse including inflicting GBH, and 5 counts of child cruelty, indecent offences including taking, making and distributing indecent photographs of a child. Now, that evidence was presented to Preston Crown Court. Also, Preston Davey suffered 40 traumatic injuries during the 4 months he was in the care of Varley and his partner. Now, John was found guilty of causing or allowing a child's death, 2 child cruelty offences and a single SA. Now, today is the sentencing. Now, I was actually going to go to Preston Crown Court and get myself into the public gallery. I rang them up and they said that you can come and you can try, you can give it a go. Let me turn this a little bit. You can come and try and give it a go, but the public gallery is reserved for family first and accredited journalists. I'm not accredited. I'm just a one-man band running Break the Ice. So it's a long way to go to take a massive gamble to get in there. The trial was full. The long trial was full. Yeah, keep hitting like, guys. Let's get it moving around the algorithm. The trial was very busy in the public gallery. So sentencing today, the gallery will be very full. And like I said, family and accredited press do take precedence in the sentencing. So when sentencing is passed, which it starts at around 10 o'clock, it will immediately come on the news as breaking news, and I will be bringing that to you. I don't think they're doing it live. I'm watching the news now, waiting for the... You're not going to see in a courtroom today the judge handing down his sentence. Keep hitting like, guys. There's 41 people in here. Keep smashing it. Keep smashing it. They won't do it live. At some point, it will come out on TV. It will come out because they started to do that in the last few years, haven't they? The judge, passing down the sentence. But I want to have a little discussion with you guys before we get into it. So we've spoken about the guilty charges for these 2 absolute pieces of scum. Tom's just said, what am I on about? I'd take a look at the thumbnail, I'd take a look at the title of the video, and that will explain exactly what this video is all about. Oh, no way, Liam. I don't know who you are, mate, but remember you telling me you were going to make your channel outside your auntie's gaff years ago. Well done, lad. Cheers, Liam. No, it's okay. Right, okay. What I want to talk about is the premeditation element. Bad guy. Don't know who that is. I need a moderator to moderate anyone in the chat who's talking shite. Right. So the premeditation element to this. Okay. So obviously John and Jamie were a gay couple, and they obviously can't have children, right? So there's one thing, okay? They can't have children, so immediately they are in that kind of position where the only way they can get children is by adoption. So their sexuality, they use their sexuality to try and get a child. Now, let's make it very clear, this is not a gay couple issue. This is a pair of evil monsters issue, which is what they are, okay? I know gay couples that have children. Vanessa Frake, the former governor of Wormwood Scrubs, was on my channel recently. If you've not seen that series with the former governor of Wormwood Scrubs, it's a fantastic series. Now, she's a gay lady and she's got a partner, and you know, they've got a child. It's not a gay couple issue. Many gay couples have children, and gay couples should have the right to have children. But these two used that to their advantage. Also, lest we forget that Jamie was a teacher. So using that position, that trusting position, oh, he cares for children, he's an educator. By the way, have I got Katie Besslaw in here? Because you're my moderator. Because someone was trying to troll before, so I need Katie Besslaw here. If not, then I'm going to mod someone up for this live. So I need to know if Katie Besslaw is here. Can you let yourself be known, please? Right, thank you. So someone before said some crap. So just make sure that you keep an eye out for people talking shite, okay? I've only got two moderators. Yeah, but future comments come in. You know, they need to be moderated if people are talking shite. Right. So, you've got the sexuality element that they used. You've got the being a teacher. I'm pretty sure he was like a head of department or a head of year in an academy. And we're in this modern woke world. Keep hitting like, guys. Keep hitting like. We've got 62 people in. And we've got 10 likes. Let's get it up. I don't think we're going to see the sentencing live. Yes, Emma. A very, very top commenter. Love to see it. Love to see you here. Always commenting. Right, we live in a very, very woke world now. And there's this obsession with box ticking and filling quotas and... And I think that, you know, using the sexuality, using the position as a teacher, knowing that the world is woke, the box ticking, the filling of the quota to trick their way, to manipulate their way into getting young Preston. So let's just make it clear. It's not a gay couple issue. They just happen to be a gay couple that that can't have children and use that to their advantage. So yeah, I believe this was totally premeditated. That's a good point. Yeah, imagine those kids at school now that had Jamie Varley as their teacher and how they feel, how that school feels. So yeah, for me, it's totally premeditated. Their reactions in court. Let's talk about their reactions in court. So Jamie retched and vomited when he was found guilty. Excuse me. No wonder. No wonder he was retching and vomiting. Because he's absolutely going to be shitting a brick right now. Now, I believe there was no real reaction from John. I don't think there was a reaction from John, which is quite sociopathic and psychotic, isn't it? But yeah, Jamie knows what's coming, doesn't he? Keep liking, guys. 74 people in here. Katie Besslaw, you know, keep on. Everyone's being pretty cool at the moment. There was just one knobhead in here before trying to cause a bit of shit. Right, now, sentencing prediction. By the way, it's 10:05. So right now in Preston Crown Court, they will be beginning the sentencing. You may have seen in previous cases, you can actually watch it on TV. The judge is there and he's handing down the sentence, but that doesn't happen live. Not to my knowledge anyway. That comes at a later date. But at some point, we should be able to see that that sentencing down the line. Right, now my prediction, not what I necessarily want, but this is my prediction, okay? I do a lot, as you know, guys, on my channel. I do a lot of work with people like you know, Vanessa Freight, the former governor of Wormwood Scrubs, John Wedger, former Scotland Yard detective, James Brannigan, former homicide detective, as well as others. And I've done a lot of deep dives. I've worked on a lot of cases. And my prediction here for Jamie. Now, what we have to remember is the premeditation element to this. Now, we've got 80 people in, 18 likes. Keep tapping it. It does help the channel. It does help the video. It does get it moving around. It's not hard to press it. Just go bloop, like that. Boop. I don't like making that noise. Just press the button. Simple as that, really. You've got to take the premeditation factor into this. I think that Jamie Varley is going to get life with a minimum term of 40 years. That's what I believe. Ian Huntley got life with a minimum of about 40 years. Now, child murder, CA, I don't think you can really compare and say one's worse than another. What Ian Huntley did was, let's not beat around the bush. What he did was sexually motivated. So it's likely that he did do that to at least one of Hollywell's and Jessica Chapman and murdered them. And he got a minimum term of 41 years. Now we've got Jamie, who murdered, abused for months, baby Preston. So I think he's going to get life with a minimum term of 40 years. Do I think that's right? No, I don't. And I'm going to get on to what I think they should get. Now, for John, I think he's going to get a life sentence with a minimum of 20 years. Okay, I'm a bit unsure about that one. Okay, what do you think? What do you think they will get? Now, what should they get, in my opinion? Well, there isn't a death penalty, is there? So that's not a possibility. It does make you wonder, like, there is certain crimes. There's Ian Watkins. There is Ian Huntley. There is these sick bastards, Jay and John. And it does raise the question. It does raise the question of, why are we keeping them? It's very likely that they're going to get killed in prison. Let's not beat around the bush. Look at Ian Huntley. Look at Ian Watkins. I think that Jamie, going back to the premeditation. Sorry, I think I'm getting a little bit of a cold. I think Jamie should get a whole life tariff. Using the sexuality, we can't have children. Using the teacher status, knowing that there's box ticking and quotas to be filled in the year 2026, I think he deserves a whole life tariff. Wayne Couzens, who murdered Sarah Everard, he got a whole life tariff. I think that John, he should probably get a life sentence with a minimum term. I don't think he'll get a whole life tariff. If we go back up to John's guilty charges, it was causing or allowing the death of Preston, 2 child cruelty offences and a single sexual assault. I don't think that he would get a whole life tariff. I think that life sentence with a 20-year minimum term, something like that. Right, I've got the news on in front of me right now. They will be in court. Okay. I spoke to, if anyone's, good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Good to see you. White Star, it's not live streamed. It doesn't happen over here. By the way, guys, there's 90 people in. If you just hit that like button, it does help this video. Thank you very much. We've got 95 people here now. So they will be in court right at this moment in time. Anyone that's just joined, I did speak to Preston Crown Court the other day. I wanted to get down into the public gallery, but it's reserved for family. It's reserved for accredited journalists, which I am not. I am a one-man band. Everything you see on this channel is me, from the research and the planning, which is the same thing, the organising and preparation of my content, the filming, the editing, the thumbnails, everything is me. I'm a one-man band. 99 people. I've got 100 people in here. So I'm not accredited, just a one-man band. This is very unlikely to go down and be able to get a seat in the public gallery. So I'm here now to have this discussion with you guys. What do you think that, I'll say this, what do you think, not what you want, but what do you think Jamie Varley is going to get? Jamie Varley, who has got the, he's got much more charges. I'm going to read Jamie's charges again, what he's been found guilty of. By the way, I did the video last week with Vanessa Frake, who's become a good friend now, actually, the former governor of Wormwood Scrubs. And this was while the trial was going on. So we couldn't really go into it, but we had a discussion off air. What do you think Jamie is going to get? So the former teacher found guilty of murder, sexual offences, including essay of a child, physical abuse, inflicting GBH, 5 counts of child cruelty, indecent offences, taking, making and distributing indecent photographs of a child. what is absolutely sickening as well is filming this stuff. How did he ever think that he was going to excuse that away? Oh, Vanessa's thoughts on the case. It's absolutely abhorrent. Absolutely abhorrent. And we all know what's going to happen when they go to prison, don't we? We all know. Think about Ian Huntley. Think about Ian Watkins and what they did. Ian Watkins, what he did is probably the closest. What he did is the most similar to what has happened here with, in this case. And he was murdered at Wakefield, and Ian Huntley was murdered at Frankland. So yeah, I believe that 40-year minimum, Jamie Varley, 20-year minimum for John. The sentencing, they're being remanded in Durham. The sentencing will be taking place right now, but in the UK, we don't see live sentencing. In a few months' time down the line, you will be able to see it. You will be able to see it down the line. It has started to become a new thing in this country. You think John will get 10? You may be right. You may be right. My predictions here are Jamie life with a minimum term of 40 and John 20. But am I being optimistic about John? Maybe I am. Maybe that's just what I hope for John. Clearly, Jamie was the... it's seemingly so that Jamie was the real instigator here. Again, using position as a teacher, and he's got the real as a list as long as my arm of charges. The murder charge, he's got that, whereas John has got the charge of allowing the murder. Someone just put then Daniel Port, he won't make it to the end of the year. Well, I don't think I'll be wiping tears from my cheeks if I hear about that. I mean, this is another thing to talk about, isn't it? Like, the taxpayer I've got to pay for the safety of these two people, and they will be on a wing with like-minded people. Now, what I learned. Can we get a recap for those of us who have no idea what you're talking about? Okay, quickly. Well, Jamie Varley and John Fazakerley have been found guilty of... Jamie has been found guilty of the murder as well as a long list of sexual offences to a baby, okay? Go and have a quick Google of it, because many people that are watching now know about this case, and it's not fair for me to harp on about it and harp on about the details. It's probably best for you to go and have a look. And John has been found guilty of allowing the death, as well as some child cruelty offences and a SA. Okay? It's not on TV. It's not on TV. What will happen, is I've got the news on here in front of me, is when the sentence is passed, it will then come out on the news as breaking news. I'm just flicking between a couple of news channels now. So as I sit here now, it's happening in court. Now, prisons. Okay, so which prisons do I think that they'll go to? So Jamie Varley likely will go to Wakefield, Monster Mansion, or Franklin or Whitemore. That is my prediction. Ian Huntley was at Franklin. Ian Watkins was at Wakefield. Both been murdered for what they've done. Yeah. Nina Berry. Nina Berry just put the details are so hard it can't be shown in the courtroom. Running commentary from reporter in court, Manchester Evening News. HMP Sutton is a possibility. It doesn't take too long, the sentencing. It's a case of... So obviously... is it buffering again? Back. Sorry, there's... If it does dip in and out a little bit, I do apologise. I do apologise. Where is that country? Which country? If you're talking about where this case, where this disgusting crime has taken place, it's taken place in the UK, in England, in the north of England. So I think that Jamie will go to Wakefield, Franklin or Whitemore. John, I've got no idea. But the worst of the worst will go to Wakefield for those kind of offences. Your Belmarsh is more your terrorism, stuff like that. That's where Hashim Abedi is. He had a big hand in the Manchester Arena bombing. I'm from Manchester. That resonates with me. That's down the road. Well, it resonates with all of us, doesn't it? It's one of the most abhorrent crimes of all time. But I don't live far from the Manchester Arena at all. No, I don't think it will be Belmarsh. I really don't. That is more terrorism. That is more terrorism. That's where Axel de Cabana is, by the way. He would have got a whole life tariff, but he's Southport stabber. He committed his crimes when he was 17. I think it wasn't long before his 18th birthday. They may go Belmarsh, I don't know, but it's normally Wakefield, Franklin, Whitemore, places like that. They're being held at Durham right now. Thank you, say I'm doing a great job. If we can get the likes moving up, 112 people in here, that would be very much appreciated. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe, do check out the content. Getting sticky, do you mind if I mod you up for this live? If not, it's no problem. They are being held in Durham, remanded in Durham. Sentencing will be taking place right now. Obviously, the trials it takes a while. Right. There we go. Getting sticky. The trial, it takes a few weeks, and obviously it's a very lengthy process because you've got to present your prosecution, you've got to present your defence. Oh, did Ian Huntley go to Belmarsh at some point? I wasn't aware of that, you know. But they do move them around, don't they, sometimes? Now, I've got a note here. These guys are going to be one of the biggest targets ever. Ever. Again, we know what happened to Watkins. We know what happened to Huntley. I think I asked Vanessa Frake this. They are being held in Durham, and today we'll find out where they're going to be going. There is Strange Ways. Strange Ways, yeah, in Manchester. Do you know what? Let's just speak about the lost profits and the surviving members of that band. You've got to feel sorry for them, because their career is just gone. It's just absolutely gone because of what Ian Watkins did. Strange Ways, yeah, it's called Manchester HMP now. I've actually got a live video on here of me circling it, walking around it, walking around the perimeter and stuff like that. Right, if you are new to this channel, by the way, guys, I cover a lot of different cases. I've got a lot of playlists working with people directly involved in cases. So the Nicola Bulley case, I worked with Peter Falding, who has always claimed, well, not always, but from November 2023, claimed that he found Nicola Bulley. Big playlist on the Nicola Bulley case. I do a lot of work with John Wedger, former Scotland Yard detective. He uncovered the CA of Baby P. So I'm just watching the news as well. So I worked with John Wedger. There's a big playlist with him. A lot of work on the Moors murders, working with... I did a lot of work with the brother of John Kilbride. He was the second victim of the Moors murders. So go and check out the playlist. I've done many interviews. I work with families that have had bereavements where they're not happy with the cause of death. Now, I can go into one right now. So there, Katie Beth's Law, okay? Now, Katie Beth's Law is run by a lady called Kelly. Well, her sister is Katie Beattie. Katie Beattie died in very suspicious circumstances, lots of circumstantial evidence, but the cause of death was cause of death unknown. And Kelly and her family have fought hard, along with former homicide detective James Brannigan. I've worked myself hard on this case. I've tried to do whatever I can, platform it, and for 2 years, she herself and her family have been beating their head against a brick wall to try and get this reopened. And only recently, the police reopened that investigation. That is why I do this. It's why I do this work. I work on a lot of cold cases and families. So the Nicola Bulley case, okay, it's not officially cold. Cause of death was accidental drowning. But many of us out there that have got a brain believe that something more sinister happened to Nicola Bulley. And whenever there's anything new to bring to you, I will do. I've done a lot of work on that case. Go and check out the playlist. But really happy for Katie Beth's Law. Excuse me. A little hiccup there from my cup of tea. Really happy for Katie's family that it's now been opened. Kelly's family, Katie's sadly sister, who was found deceased in very suspicious circumstances. Many interviews out there. So go and check out the channel, subscribe, and yeah, go and check out some of the videos. Right. We are now at 10:30. Give me one moment. Call of nature. While I am... One second. Whilst I am going for a call of nature, talk between yourselves. What sentence do you think that these two guys should get? I think that Jamie Varley should get a whole life tariff. John, not so sure about, maybe a minimum term of 20 years. BRB, as they say. Right, I is back. So what have we got? Well, it will be life. I'm going to read some of his comments. It will be life. But life doesn't mean life, does it? That's the thing. Life doesn't mean life in this country. What I'm going to do... So I thought something was happening on the news then. Yeah, life don't mean life in this country. I don't know why they even call it life. Because you can have life and do 10 years. Life should mean life. I really, really genuinely do think, because teacher, because I believe that he used the sexuality to get Preston, I believe the only reason that they adopted Preston was to do this. How can it not be a whole life tariff? If you premeditate, right, okay, gay couple, we can't have a kid. It's woke Britain 2026, box ticking, quota filling. I'm a teacher. I look really responsible. That is a very good in to adopt a child. We'll get a child in our care. So in my opinion, that's why they got him. Clearly, because for 4 months, he was being abused. How, in the name of all things holy, could it not be a whole life tariff? And I will be sickened if it's not. Especially for Jamie. His charges are as long as my arm, right? John's, if you just come in, John's are he causing or allowing the death, 2 child cruelty offences and a single SA. So he won't get a whole life tariff. He deserves a long, long stretch. But I think it'd be about 20 years if the judges get anything about him. How many people think that? That's a good question. Got a poll. Oh, 1 second. One second. I'll just ask the question and you can answer. How many people think that they adopted, or sorry, tried to, because he never actually got finally adopted, did he? How many people think that they wanted to get Preston for this reason, and that was their sole purpose? How many people think it was a premeditated thing? Let me know. A lot of people in here for a Thursday morning. We've got Mark, we've got Katie Beth Slaw, we've got Miss Miller Prop, Brooklyn, everyone thinks it's premeditated. Such a cute little kid, such a sweet little kid. Did you see? Both need whole life orders. You're singing from my hymn sheet there. John won't get whole life order though. They really do need to set an example here. Give me 1 moment, please. Sorry guys, I'm back. Right, what I've done, thank you for remaining here. What I've done is I've just leave my own home for there's things going on, there's carpets going down, there's sofas going in, there's doors going up. So I'm at someone else's. I'm at my dear mother's. She's in a bedroom now. Right, what I've done is I've just connected the iPad to her hotspot, because I'm going to see if there's any running commentary going on right now. It will come up on the TV. It will come up on the TV when right, Breen. One second. It'll come up on the TV when the sentence has been passed, but there might be a running commentary. So I've got the TV in front of me. Right, okay. I think there's a running commentary. So I've got the TV here. And I've got a running commentary right in front of me right now. Right, the reading victim impact statement. Thank you guys. We've got 95 people here. Can everyone hit like? If you've not already hit like, I'd really appreciate it. It does help the channel. It does help the video. And I want to say, right, by the way, I never put on my channel like, landmark kind of subscriber counts, but for this one, I'm going to celebrate it. I hit 25,000 subscribers the other day. And it's honestly, it's overwhelming. It really is overwhelming. So thank you for everybody who's done that, who's subscribed to the channel. Right, I'm going to running commentary. Victim impact statements are being read out right now. Thank you very much. Let's try and get up to, let's go for 60 likes on this one. I tell you what, victim impact statement. Ooh. That'll be pretty intense, won't it? Thank you very much. My prison governor friend, Vanessa Frake, I think I asked her, will they get a whole life tariff? I don't think she thinks they will, actually. Right. Okay, I'm going to read some victim impact statements out, okay? So be prepared. Trigger warning, potentially. If you're watching this now, then you know that this is sensitive stuff. So I'm now going to read... I'm going to read... I'm going to read a victim impact statement from, I'm trying to find who it is. Right, it doesn't say who it is, but we'll read it out, okay? And then there is a victim impact statement from the birth father. Yeah. Right, I'm going to start now from what's happening right now on the running commentary from right, birth father. The son that I never got to meet and now never will. Wow. That's brutal. Okay, Preston's birth father, Gary Nolan, has made a statement. Preston was the son that I never got to meet and never will. I'm tearing up a little bit, you know. Sorry. Okay now. I did not expect that at all. Right. Sorry about now. Preston was the son I never got to meet and now never will. Sarah and I already had a daughter. I'm sorry. Who was not quite 4 years old. In the summer of 23. I also have two other daughters who were 18 and 15 at the time. One minute, just give me 1 minute. Right, I'm back. Right. It's just fucking horrific. Okay. Preston was a son I never got to meet and now never will. Sarah and I already had a daughter together who was not quite 4 years old in the summer of 23. I also have two other daughters who were 18 and 15 at the time. Following Preston's birth and being confirmed as his father, I was awaiting an appointment with social services. The appointment would have been my opportunity to say hello and goodbye to Preston, all within the space of an hour before he was taken away. This is what kept me going and made me feel happy that I would get to meet my son. Despite my efforts to push for this meeting, it never took place. Mr. Nolan says his daughter was looking forward to meeting Preston. My eldest daughter was close to the daughter I have with Sarah in the summer of 2023 and was looking forward to seeing and meeting Preston. She would spend time with the daughter I have with Sarah, take her away on trips. Something she wanted to do Preston too. Sadly, she never got the opportunity. Right. Right, birth father was taken to hospital after being told the news of Preston's death. So this is Preston's birth father, okay? I learnt of Preston's passing from the police. A day I remember so well. It was just awful. Two female officers came to see me and informed me that Preston had been killed and that two men had been bailed pending an investigation. Due to legal matters, a lot of information was withheld. I'm so sorry about this. I shouldn't. I didn't think this would happen. Two officers came to see me and informed me. Bloody hell, it keeps changing. Right, because it's refreshing. Two officers came to see me and informed me that Preston had been killed and two men had been bailed. Due to legal matters, a lot of information was withheld from me. Upon hearing the news, I remember officers taking hold of me and me blanking out. The next thing I recall is waking up in hospital 2 days later. I am told that I was hysterical and crying. Join it, mate. John Club. And that it was for my own safety that I was taken to the hospital. Clearly, I must have been in a bad place mentally. This was 20 to 11. I was having nightmares about Preston. Upon being discharged from hospital, I turned to drink, which I knew wasn't the answer, but I felt anxious about everything. I was having nightmares about Preston. After hearing about the autopsy, these included seeing some horrific images in my mind. The only thing that got me off the alcohol was when I started throwing up blood. At that point, I knew I needed help. Prior to that, I didn't realise how much hard hearing the news of Preston had hit me. Neither did I. I'm thankful to the church community that supported me, and I'm now in a better place mentally and teetotal. Despite that, I'm still, to this day, on antidepressants and anxiety tablets, things that have only been required following my release from hospital. This is at 10:42. I always hoped that we would get Preston back at some point. Sarah's mum, Debbie, looks after the daughter I have with Sarah. And I would have loved for Preston to have gone to live with them. Now I can't read. Now that the daughter and I have with Sarah is growing up, she also asks about her little brother and wants to know whether he's in heaven. We explain he is, and he is watching down on her. 10:43. Preston was my first and only son. The fact that he'd been taken away from me has stopped me from having a father-son relationship. I was looking forward to doing the simple things with him, playing football, teaching him how to ride a bike, having him ask me for help, seeing him learn to drive, and of course celebrating his birthday. This has deprived my 3 daughters and me of ever having those opportunities. 10:44. Sitting in court and hearing the details. By the way, what I'm reading now, guys, if you are new, this is happening now. Sitting in court and hearing the details of what Preston suffered is horrible. No one should have to suffer like that, let alone a baby. It's disgusting. I've seen things in the courtroom I should never have had to see. Preston went through that, so why shouldn't I have to see it too? What a man he sounds like. Why didn't this dad? Oh shit, I've gone off it. Hold on. Right, I've gone up. There we are. Back now. Why didn't the dad get the kid? Why didn't the dad hit? What? I've just read what Getting Sticky said. That just hit. That's why. That's just it. Sorry, I thought I said that just hit. That's just it. I've had to get rid of my smartphone to prevent me looking online at things about Preston. It was getting to me. It's all over the internet and everywhere I look. People putting opinions in without knowing the facts and having to see what I and Preston have had to see. Sorry, let me read that again. People putting opinions. It keeps refreshing because the impact statements keep coming in. People putting opinions in without knowing the facts and having to see what I and Preston have had to see. It's just distressing. Mr. Nolan's statement concludes, how can they call him Elijah when he's Preston and will always be called and remembered as that? It makes me so angry that it has been allowed to happen. I think this has affected a lot of people. Right, we're now at 10 to 11. Sandra Cooper, Preston's foster mum who cared for him from being 5 days old, has stepped up and read her statement in person. Right, we're now up to date now with this impact statement. Preston's death has had a huge impact on our lives. Preston was going to be the last child we fostered. However, we could not retire after Preston died. Let me read that again. Right, this comes from Sandra Cooper, Preston's foster mum, who cared for him from being 5 days old. Right, so she's just read this. I've got to do it again. I'm really sorry that this is a struggle. Anyone that's got kids will know. Anyone that's got a heart will know. So Preston's death has had a huge impact on our lives. Preston was going to be the last child we fostered. We could not retire after Preston died. We felt we had a duty to other children and could not sit back and enjoy ourselves knowing that other children were being abused and mistreated and could die. My husband Paul and I, we've got an update there, another one. My husband Paul and I have continued to foster children to protect them. We are doing this for Preston in his memory. Preston's death has changed my perspective on life. Things I once felt. I'm really sorry that I can't read properly, but there's obviously a reason. Things I once felt were important, now I feel are not. I realise life's too short. We're now at 10 to... This is live. What I'm reading you right now is live. Guys, share this video about... Hit like on this video. Get it moving around. We will get the sentencing quite soon. We will get the sentencing quite soon. The foster mum continues, Paul and I previously felt that the best option for all our foster children was to leave us happy and healthy, to go live with a new permanent adoptive family. No way. So, this is absolutely in real time. It keeps updating. As I'm reading this now to you, it's being typed up. So it's being typed up in court and it's being released right now. So what you're getting right now is live reporting. I'd never make it as a live newsreader, would I? Reading stuff like this. Jesus Christ. I bet the foster mum, from when he was, I think from 5 days old, must feel so bad. It's not her fault. She shouldn't feel bad, but she will. Paul and I previously felt the best option for all our foster children was to leave us happy and healthy, to go and live with new permanent adoptive family. We now struggle with this, and I feel mistrustful. And I will feel mistrustful and anxious about any of our children leaving our care to live with strangers. 10:53. She continues, Paul and I will often watch the videos we took of Preston when he was happy. With us laughing and giggling, playing with his toys, smiling. Preston's face would light up when we looked at him. He was joyful, so content and happy, with sparkly, smiling eyes. This is how we want to remember him. I will often dream about Preston, and I feel that he is still alive. But when I wake up, I realise he has died, and I go through the trauma again of knowing he has died and how. He died in the worst way possible. The worst way possible. I'll continue to read this. I just want to see his smiling, happy face again. I'm devastated about his death, and I struggle when I think about the pain and torture he's been through before he died. The last update is 1 minute ago. She continues, Paul and I attended court and listened to evidence, and we now need to remember Preston as he was when he's in our care. Preston was wonderful, happy, and lit up any room. Preston will remain in our thoughts and prayers forever. Right, that's where we're up to. That's where we're up to. That is the latest. 10:55 right now, live. Thank you. There's 146 people watching this. This has obviously impacted a lot of people. It's impacted me more than I even thought it did. There's just nothing worse. There's nothing worse. See, I don't go live a lot. I want to do the live reporting on this. Anyway, right. Only an admission of guilt or a sorry would make the pain easier to bear. Well, those two absolute bastards deny all this. They deny all this shit. I'm going to say a detail now. I'm going to say a detail. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to not hear it. Oh wait, has he admitted sexual motive? Okay, then I retract that. Then I was under the impression that they've denied. Well, looking at the interviews and stuff, denied everything. I wasn't aware that he admitted sexual motive, so I retract that statement. Right, 10:56. Everything is in real time. Again, anything I'm reading now is in real time. Right, Preston's foster dad has now stepped up to read his statement. In 2022, myself and Sandra fostered Preston from 5 days old and brought him up as our own, as we always do with all our foster children. Preston was an absolute pleasure to look after. He was the most amazing little boy who lit up the room as you walked into it. He was so small and vulnerable and couldn't help but love him immediately. Preston's smile was infectious and he brightened up my day from the second he woke up. We built a strong bond during his time with us. It keeps refreshing because it's literally like I'm reading this. As I'm reading it, it's been said seconds ago. No, and any homophobia comments in here, getting sticky, or if I see it, or Kate Beth's law, you will be banned, right? You will be banned. This is not a gay issue. This is an evil people issue. No homophobia, right? At all. I will not have it. At all. So get rid of him. There's no 10 second delay sorry, timeout. There's no 6 minute, whatever it is, like timeout. You're gone, right? Right, I'm going to 1 second. I'm up to date with the impact statements. 151 people are in here on a Thursday morning. This shows how this has affected a lot of people. Yeah, if you're homophobic, you can just get out of here right now. One of my good friends now is Vanessa Frake. She's a gay woman, and she's one of the greatest people I've ever met. Oh, right, yeah, I was going to say, right, there is a detail that some of you may know. I'm going to give 10 seconds, and I'm going to say that detail, okay? So you've got a chance to mute it, get out of here, whatever. Five seconds. Yeah, that's a good point. Heterosexual couples, heterosexual people, single people, gay couples, gay single people. Anyone's capable of anyone is capable of evil, right? Right, the detail is coming. So his airway was obstructed, I believe, with objects inserted into his mouth. Yeah? Now we can imagine what that is. It is abhorrent what's happened here. Absolutely. There's no word. Can you get the? I can't get the news thing. Don't have to say anything. Can you get the news thingy on? My dear mother's here.
What side?
Just go into the. Just if you find the news tab, I can't find it. Go on to pass it here, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is. I've got the news. Right. BBC News. I'm gonna try them all. I know what a lot of us think of BBC News, or BBC. Right. Yes. Sky. Right. Preston Davey's mum, I will never forgive you. The foster dad continues. The foster dad continues. In the process of Preston being adopted, myself and Sandra decided to retire from fostering. After he had gone to his family, we spent a very short time without any children other than the odd few days covering. After Preston's death during our retirement, we got a phone call to ask if we would foster 3 siblings. Normally, it would have been Sandra saying yes, and I would weigh things up. However, I immediately said yes. It's just updated again, so I need to find that. I couldn't handle the thought of the siblings going to... Mother, are you doing a cup of tea? Thank you. However, I immediately said yes. I couldn't handle the thought of the siblings going to another family and not knowing what could happen to them. This must really have affected them. This thought is at the forefront of my mind every single day. It should be a positive thought of finding a family for the children. However, it has made me very anxious about where they are going and to who. I already know that these next steps are going to bring back memories of Preston, and I'm going to be extremely anxious. 178 people on a Thursday morning. This just shows the impact. It's only when you start to read this and you read the impact statements and how the guilt that they shouldn't feel, the foster parents that they shouldn't feel, they're going to carry guilt forever. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It continues. Again, everything I'm reading is in real time. As a foster carer, you have to put so much trust in the system and the person responsible for caring for a child. What happened to Preston has caused me to lose that trust, thus affecting me socially. And through being a foster carer, I don't see being a foster carer as employment, more like a vocation. Preston had his whole life ahead of him. One that should have been a happy life with a new family. I will never ever forget him. I cannot express enough the pain that I'm going through to even speak about this, and the way his life was cut so short. I will never forget you, Preston. That is the latest impact statement. The news is in front of me. It's getting updated in front of me in the iPad. It's getting updated up front of me on the news. Wow, that was rough. That was rough. Right, big update. Varley's... Right, Varley's... This has just come in. Varley's defence says whole life order is a matter which ought to be given real consideration. Yes, absolutely, whole life order. 100%. Sorry, I'm looking at two things here. That's a defence. Right, Nick Johnson will now speak on behalf of Jamie Varley. Big one. Big one. Big one coming up. He says, this is Nick Johnson, who's going to speak on behalf of the scumbag, Jamie Varley. Wouldn't you love 5 minutes in a room with Jamie Varley? He says he wishes to immediately acknowledge the manifest seriousness. Start again. He says he wishes to immediately acknowledge the manifest seriousness of the crimes being sentenced today. He says a whole life order is a matter of which ought to be given real consideration. Now that's what I said. All right. IMIO from the States. A whole life order in this country. There's only 70 people that have got a whole life order. Very rare. And it means you go to prison, you have zero chance of parole. Zero. You are not getting out. Put your teeth in, mate. Well, I'm not taking shit from anybody right now, so see you later. Bye. Yeah, see you later. No worries. If anyone wants to come in and like think they can give me some shit, like got another thing coming, you clearly don't know me. Right. Okay. Varley. This is from Nick Johnson, who is speaking on behalf of Varley. Varley did not set out to adopt a child with intent to harm them. All right. He says the only sure conclusion is that this was a murder with intent to cause really serious harm rather than an outright intent to kill. Oh, right. That's all right then, isn't it? So they wanted to get him to cause serious harm but not kill him. Well, for Preston, imagine that he didn't. Thank you. Imagine that he didn't pass away, and this went on for years and years and years and years and years and years. So I don't know if you do believe in heaven and all that kind of stuff, but he's there now, not in pain. This could have gone on for so long, so long. He says the jury's verdict shows a sexual interest from Varley towards Preston. How in the name of God can you have a sexual attraction to a baby? What the fuck? Preston recovered quickly from similar hypoxic episodes, and the defendants had plans for his future, moving to a bigger house. What? What is this? Mr. Johnson Casey says there was a lack of premeditation. I do not believe that for a moment. When the men began the adoption process, he says Varley became an increasing risk to Preston as he struggled to cope with the demands of looking after a young child. He says this is not the same as a person who set out to adopt a child with intent to harm them. I don't believe that. He also says there is a lack of previous convictions and evidence of positive, good character of Varley. Ex-colleagues say he was brilliant in his pastoral role and wanted the best for students. Hold on, keeps updating. Hold on. Where is it gone? Wanted the best for students. Where is it? Right. He delayed the adoption process for the pupils' GCSEs. That is some poor attempt at a defence, isn't it? You're going down, mate. You're going down you're getting a whole life order. Mr. Johnson Casey asked the judge to draw back from whole life order and approach the sentence by taking a minimum term starting at 30 years, which would be significantly aggravated. Right, we now move on to McGowan Fazakerley entered into adoption process without premeditation or physical or sexual abuse. Mr. Swift, on behalf of John Fazakerley, says the multiplicity of offending may lead the court to a very high culpability bracket. He says the offending relating to failing to protect Preston and remove him from harm contrasts with the evidence of a hard-working, intelligent man who entered into the adoption without premeditation of physical or sexual abuse. Social workers took steps to carry out checks and ensure the adoption process was carried out properly. Steps were being taken to improve living standards by moving to a new home. I have no idea what this is all about. What this attempt of what they're trying to do is to clearly bring down, get the lowest sentence as possible. I have now got this feeling. I said it deserves a whole life tariff. I said it deserves it. I think the judge is considering it because the defence is clearly trying to mount a case for not giving a whole life tariff. Let's hope we've got a judge here with some serious balls, right? In mitigation, Mr. Swift refers to the defendant's good character and background. There is now a break in proceedings for the judge to consider his remarks. Right, here we go. Big moment, guys. Yeah, that bottom one. How the F can it be anything other than a full life tariff? I'm with you there, brother. Mr. Justice Turner will now rise to consider his sentencing remarks. He says this will take around an hour. Right. Who would like me to stay for the hour? Or come back in an hour? I'll just sit here. Look, if any of you guys want to come back in an hour, then come back. I'm going to hang about. I may be in and out, going to the toilet and whatnot. I will stay. Right, so the judge is going to consider and deliberate now for an hour. I'm going to stay because I'm going to then discuss with you guys. I may mute for a moment just to talk to my mum. She's over there. Make sure you don't get in the shop, please. Yeah.
Nowhere near it.
Yeah, just for you, because there's some there's the twats out there. Yeah, everyone in here is pretty sound. There's been one or two, but I don't want you to be seen. How long are they getting? Right. So if anyone's just joining now, Mr. Justice Turner, the judge, I believe, he's going to consider his sentencing remarks. He says this will take around an hour. You've been watching this in your room, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you think they should get a whole life to have never to be released?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mum thinks they should never be released. Didn't even take a moment to answer that. It might not be an hour, but they're going to say that. You know, say hi to mum. Hi, mum.
Hi.
She says hi. Right, a tariff is minimum. So a whole life tariff is you are going to prison for life and you are never ever getting out. There's about 70 people in this country that are on a whole life tariff. Lucy Letby is one that's a very controversial case. I actually believe she's innocent. If you want to look into my work on that case, go onto the channel and check out the Lucy Letby playlist. Wayne Couzens, who murdered Sarah Everard, he got a whole life tariff. Who else? Damien Bendel, he murdered 4 with a claw hammer. People like that. You can have a minimum tariff. So you can have, life with a minimum tariff or minimum term of 30 years where you're not considered for parole for that amount of time, basically. Should never be freed. The Southport stabber, Axel Ruda Cabana, was 17. You can't get a whole life tariff if you're under 18. He was 18 a few weeks after. He's got a minimum term of like 40 years, something like that. But I don't think he'll ever get out. The minimum means that when you get to that, let's say you've got a minimum of 40 years, that's before you can even be considered for parole. But Axel Ruda Cabana is causing mayhem inside. He's attacking prison officers. Hashim Abedi, who is the brother of Solomon Abedi, the Manchester Arena bomber, they've got minimum. Like 30, 40 years before they can be considered for parole. But because they're causing havoc inside, they're unlikely to ever get out. I don't know if they'll I don't know if they'll go in the same prison. I would think it's quite unlikely. Because of Jamie Varley's both the guilty charges are abhorrent and horrific, but I think Jamie Varley's more likely to get the whole life. Whole life tariff. I pray to God he gets a whole life tariff. I think Judge Turner has already made his mind up. Life for both, no release. Ooh. Yeah. Pray to God. I'm just going to hit mute. I'm just going to go toilet again. 1 second. Hi guys, I'm back. Yeah, the judge is now deliberating. So I'm going to stay here. We can discuss. I'm just going to read comments now and talk to you guys. Keep hitting like, guys, on the video. Let's go up to 100. We've had up to 200 people in this live today. I'm not going to apologise for having a little bit of a breakdown when I was reading those impact statements out, but I will apologise for struggling to read some of the impact statements. It was really, really hard to do. I did not expect that to happen at all. I really didn't. No, they've not been sentenced yet. What I'm doing is I'm just, the judge is now deliberating. It's going to be within the hour. So people can come and go if they want. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to chat to you guys. Someone's put, do child killers get treated differently in male prisons like sex offenders, or is it murder, or is murder a murder? Oh, they do get treated. Oh, you do not want to be a child killer or abuser in a prison. I think that applies all over the world, doesn't it? But in this country, you are looking over your shoulder. It is frowned upon, obviously. The worst of the worst. Two massive cases in this country. If anyone's not aware, if anyone's watching from around the world, Australia, America, Canada, wherever you may be, we've got the Soham murders. It was two young girls called Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman. Sorry, just looking at the news. Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman were murdered by Ian Huntley. Likely one of them was hard. At least one, I would say, is a sexually motivated murder. And he was murdered in prison. He went to prison in 2003. The murders happened in 2002. They were two 10-year-old girls. He was actually, like, the last photograph of these two girls, they were wearing Manchester United shirts. I know a lot of the people in the UK know what I'm talking about, but there's a lot of people from all over the world watching this. If you are new to this channel, subscribe and look at the playlist I've got. There's a lot of work there with people involved directly in the cases. They were in Manchester United shirts, and on the day, if you can hear a tape in the background, my mum's sending a parcel off. She's what is it? What is it? Vinted. Saying them. Oh yeah, the day that he was murdered in Frankland, he was walking around the prison in a Manchester United shirt with the number 10 on the back. The girls, last photograph, when he murdered them, had Manchester United shirts. What a absolute sick, disgusting bastard. So he was trolling them. Yeah, they're not allowed in prison, exactly, but he had one. But then someone told me, so I had the governor of Wormwood Scrubs, former governor of Wormwood Scrubs prison, Vanessa Frake, MBE, on my channel. Go and check out that podcast. If you go onto my channel, go to the playlist and go to the Vanessa Frake series, 5-part series, fascinating. Lucy Letby got a whole life tariff. Again, go onto my playlist. There's a whole Lucy Letby playlist. I believe that she's innocent. She's got a whole life tariff. She's never going to get out, but there's a lot of controversy around that. Back to Ian Huntley, I believe that he actually tailor-made the shirt himself, put that on the back. I would say, I'm reading. Let me just grab my charger a second. 1 second. It's going to be a mute. Sorry. Right. I'm going to read your comments. Yeah, go over to the Vanessa Freight playlist. It's a fantastic series. She is an MBE. She worked at Holloway. She dealt with Rose West. She told Rose West that Fred's dead. And then she worked at Wormwood Scrubs, where she became the governor. She's a real good friend of mine now. Spoke to her yesterday. She's been on the channel twice subsequently. I don't know if they get the same sentence. I hope they do. I hope they both get whole life tariff. Yeah, I know I was on mute. I'm off now. I don't think they'll be put in the same prison. I don't think. Hiya. Is baby Preston still alive? No. No. Not. And this is why we're here today. He was murdered by... Who the F is who? Anna, who you saying who the F is that about? Oh, that's okay. No, baby Preston was murdered. I don't know why. You must have just found this video then, this live video. So baby Preston was died age 13 months because he was murdered by his carers who were trying to adopt him, who were a gay couple. One was a teacher, and they essayed him. If you don't know what essay is, then Google it. It's something that YouTube doesn't like to say. But they abused him, and one of them, Jamie Varley, is found guilty of his murder. The other one was found guilty of causing or allowing his death, along with a string of sexual offences, sexual essay, grievous bodily harm, cruelty, disgusting, despicable act. Guys, if you are new to this channel, if you are just finding it, my name's Luke. This is Break the Ice. I cover largely true crime and real life stories, and I work with families who have had deaths in their family and they're not happy with the cause of death for trying to help. And I've covered the Nicola Bully case in great detail with Peter Falding, who claims to have found her. John Wedger I work with a lot, who's a former Scotland Yard detective, work on the Moors murders with victims, John Kilbride's brother, amongst other things. Many interviews are on there. So do subscribe to the channel, check it out. We are waiting now for... we're waiting for the sentencing to come in. We're just waiting for the sentencing. I'm just going to grab my charger. I can't quite find it. It's a good job I've got a new device because I've got full battery health. So I've been on for how long? I've been on for bloody hell, 100 minutes. And I've got 70%, so it should be all right. He was a teacher. He was head of a department, I believe. 1 second, I can hear myself on my mum's iPod. Hold on. Yeah, is Katie Beth's Law here or is she gone? It's just you getting sticky. Hang fire. Hello, I'm back. Morning, Luke. Sadly, they'll be put on the vulnerable prisoners wing, but my God, I hope so. Yeah, but the thing is about, right, so what I learned from Vanessa Frake, the former governor, is that they go on to a vulnerable prisoner unit, but they're not on their own. They're with like-minded people. Ian Watkins wasn't a vulnerable prisoner unit, but you're with other people that are like-minded or have done heinous crimes. So is Ian Huntley. You are not completely on your own. So you're always looking over your shoulder. Oh. Right. Men to be sentenced over the death of baby boy today. I'm looking at a picture of him now, right now, on the telly. Boils, everyone's blood. And if you are new, if you don't really know about this case, I asked people in this chat before, like, do you think it was premeditated? Because I believe they use their status as a gay couple to manipulate the system. I think they used Jamie's status as a teacher to manipulate the system. I think they used the fact that we're in woke Britain, that we have to tick boxes and fill quotas to manipulate the system. I want to make it very, very, very clear. This is not a gay couple issue. This is not a gay person issue. This is not a teacher issue. This is evil bastards issue, okay? No homophobia will be accepted in this. If you make any homophobic remark, you will be gone. No questions asked. There's been one that's been done that today. So I'm just letting you know. Do you like my mug that my mum's made me a brewing? Her Majesty. She's mugging me off, isn't she? Good brew, though. Good brew. Let's get up to 100 likes on this video. Get it pushed out. Let's get it pushed out there. Turn this down. So, at the moment, I was reading the victim impact statements before, and yeah, it's safe to say that it wasn't easy. My mug says it says her ladyship. That's what my mug says. My mum's made me a brew, knowing that I'm live in front of all you guys saying her ladyship. Mugging me off. Where the hell's the like button on this thing? Is there 3 dots at the top somewhere? Should be 3 dots knocking about. 1 second. What happens after they are sentenced? They get whisked off to their new homes. Talk about that. So the likely place is I don't know. I'm thinking that Jamie Varley's definitely going to get a whole life tariff now, because their defence is fighting very hard to say, please consider like minimum term of 30 years and stuff like that. But I think they know that the judge is not going to mess around here. So, what happens is they go to... Jamie will probably go to a Wakefield prison, which is where these kind of people go, or Frankland. The worst category A prisons, the worst of the worst. Wakefield's called Monster Mansion for a reason. And what happens is they'll be looking over their shoulder forever. Hello to Australia. Hello to Australia. Do you know what? I can't believe I forgot to pack my charger. I don't. Again, 1 second. We're going to find my mum's. I'm at my mum's house because there's things going on at mine. There's like doors being put up and carpet's just gone down, and it's just things are happening there. So my mother's. Yeah, John Varley I think he will go to Wakefield. Wakefield is where Ian Watkins went, and he did similar crimes to this, actually. Right, so life here doesn't actually mean life. Life, you get life of 10 years, life 25 years, or life minimum term 30 years, meaning you have to serve 30 before you consider for parole. A whole life tariff in this country means you are never getting out, no chance, and 70 people have that. Yeah, they'll be Cat A. Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely, they will be in a Cat A. Yeah, definitely. One's got more charges than the other because one's been found guilty of more charges, basically. And the one that's got more charges is the one who was a teacher. Imagine the students and the teachers in that school. Oh, oh, God, yeah. Oh, they'll be attacked. Yeah, prisoners do have access to the news, yeah. Anyone that's new, sorry to harp on about this, but I'm really proud of this latest podcast. I did a podcast with Vanessa Frake, the governor of Wormwood Scrubs. And she said they do have access to the news, they do have newspapers. Oh, yeah, oh, God. Jamie Varley was sick, apparently, when he was found guilty the other day. And you know why he was sick, don't you? Because he's shitting himself. Bad time for him. Bad time. Prison justice. You got the worst of the worst in prisons like Wakefield and Frankland and Whitemore, and there's others. But this crime, it up there, the worst ever with what Watkins did, Ian Watkins. Do you know something, right? I wonder if Jamie will cry after his sentence, because I think it's all been an act. Once he's sentenced, that's it. Act over, because he's done. We should be getting the sentences quite soon. Oh, no way, do you? So, you see that bottom comment there? Somebody knows a teacher from the school and is devastated. Horrific. Hi, Miss Red. Did you see? We're nearly at 100 likes, by the way, which is really good. Thank you, guys. Did you see the interviews with Jamie Varley? How arrogant, how bored he was. He sat there like, no comment, nope. So arrogant. And up himself and bored. The story broke me. You should have been here about an hour ago. Broadmoor. Yeah, Broadmoor is a mental hospital. Yeah, they've been sentenced. This is what this video is. So we've been live now for nearly 2 hours. We've been talking about their charges. I'll read the charges out again for anyone that's new. I've read out the victim impact statements, which was really, really rough to read, very hard. And we've had Jamie and John's defence up to me, trying to deter from a whole life tariff, but if this judge has got any minerals, then they're going down for life without more. Yeah, Broadmoor is a high security hospital, just like Aston, and where did I should know this, Ian Brady go? I can't remember, it's gone. But Ian Brady went to a mental hospital. Where did Ian Brady go? Someone Google that for me, quick. Where did Brady go? Ashworth, thank you. Thank you, yeah, Ashworth. Done a lot of work on the Moors murders. If that's a case which has hit you, then check it out. Go on the playlist. I've done a lot of work with John Kilbride's brother. He's gone now, God rest his soul. In fact, anniversary of his death quite soon. Rest in peace, Terry. What a great man he was. Rampton, that's another one. Nah, Varley's not insane. He's very calculated. He knows. He knows. 173 people, 3 likes away from 100. That really helps push the video out. I had a bit of a breakdown before. Never, ever, 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 ever have I shed a tear on this channel before. I don't really go live, but I wanted to do this live. Right, guys, if anyone is new here and they don't know the charges, Jamie Varley's found guilty of murder, and this is of a 13-month-old baby boy. Sentencing is not happened yet. The judge is going to wait to deliberate. It won't be long. It'll be within the next half an hour. There's 170 people here still while we're waiting for sentencing. It's really good. Thanks, guys. Channel just hit 25,000 subscribers a day. I'm stunned by it. Your support over the past 4 years have been, well, just under 4 years. 4 years in September. I've been running this channel has been immense. And I rarely get a knobhead. I think I've had 2 knobheads in this chat. Maybe I've had more, but moderators are all over it. Thanks, Getting Sticky, for what you've done today. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to read out the charges for Jamie Varley. Murder. Sexual offences, including assault by penetration and essay of a child, physical abuse, including inflicting GBH, and 5 counts of child cruelty. Indecent offences, including taking, making, and distributing indecent photographs of a child. And then the charges for John, who was his partner. He was found guilty of causing or allowing the death, a child's death, and 2 child cruelty offences and a single sexual assault. I've been asked that a few times. I don't think they'll be put in the same prison. I wouldn't imagine they would. Okay. Welcome to the channel, Melanie. Consider subscribing, check out the content. This channel is largely 90% true crime and 10% real life stories. By the way, excuse me, if anybody out there has a story they want to share, any story that's like affected your life. I've had a gambling addict. It's not just well-known cases. Anyone is welcome on my channel to share a story. I've had a gambling addict. I've had somebody who had a child who had to go to a psych ward. They were trans and they had mental health problems. They went to a psych ward, and within half an hour or so of the mother leaving the psych ward, the kid had ended their own life. I had someone from America who came on saying that they're not allowed to see their kid. Actually turns out that person wasn't even making any effort. So if you see that video, I kind of go in a little bit on him saying, you can't come on my channel moaning about not seeing your kid when you're making no effort. So anybody that, if you have a story and you want to come onto my channel and share a story, you're welcome to. You are welcome to. Do you know what I mean? It's not all about big, high-profile cases or famous people. Anybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Julie. Who's Elsie Scully Hicks? Do I want to Google that? I'll write it down and I'll do it afterwards. Okay, 1 second. Hold Elsie Scully. Hicks. And who's the other one? Hayley Busby. Okay. No, well, I don't know what the judge will actually be doing right now. He's probably speaking to court officials underneath him, barristers. I don't really know what happens outside of the court, but he'll be deliberating now, and thinking about what sentence. You'll do a podcast. No, the sentence hasn't been done yet. We're waiting. It'll be in the next 20 minutes or so, I would say. Right. Priceless Jesus, email me. Will he lose his teacher's license? Yeah, he'll lose his life. Subscribed and like, thank you very much. Hold on a minute. Let's go back up. Priceless Jesus, email me at breaktheice123@hotmail.com and give me a brief overview of what your story is, and then I will then give you a call and we'll have a chat. They won't get 10 years. They will not get 10 years. No, it's not being filmed. It's not being filmed. It doesn't happen here. The sentencing will be filmed, but it's not live. $196 people in here while we're waiting for sentencing to come. Thank you. Thank you if you are new here. They're not going to get 10 years. There'll be riots if they get 10 years. Trust me. One of them might not get a whole life tariff. One of them might get 20, maybe. But James Varley, if he don't get life with a minimum of 40, something's wrong. 209 people here. Really, really good support for the channel today. Yeah, please be mindful of what your wordage, please. I know this is a very passionate case and it's affected a lot of people, upset a lot of people. I'm one of them. Just please choose your words wisely. S-A-G-R-A-P-E. PDF. Please don't use the real words. I was looking for it live and stumbled across yours, so I stay here. Thank you. I appreciate it. There's going to be new people here today. 214 people in the chat. So if you have just found the channel, welcome. My name's Luke, and this is Break the Ice, obviously. Bring back the death penalty. I mean, I've always been quite opposed, but with this, hopefully they'll die in prison. Under a whole life tariff order where they'll die as old men. But we know how prison justice works. After reading out the victim impact statements before, I mean, there is a case, isn't there? I might do a video actually on, a video on the death penalty. Right, okay, no worries. I need to get a moderator for a bit. Both my moderators have had to leave. This has gone on a lot longer. I'm going to have to entrust a member. Joy Davenport, would you like to moderate for the remainder of this live? Because my moderator's got to go. Thank you, getting sticky. If I moderate someone up, it's just going to be for this live. I really need to put my trust in you here. Right. I'm going to make Joy Davenport a moderator. So thank you. We've got a new person here. I'm going to make Joy Davenport a moderator because she's a member, so I know I can trust her. That is nothing on anyone else that's offered to be one. There is people out there that try and troll and stuff like that, and I just can't take that risk. Not personal. It's not on. It's not on the news. They're doing updates like, you know, sentencing will be passed soon and stuff like that. I've been following a commentary. Right, Joy Davenport. All I would like you to do, please, is any abuse, then just get rid of them. Sorry, I just got breaking news on TV, but it's different news. It's to do with something else. Yeah, all you need to do is make sure. Yeah, make sure that you get rid of any abusive comments. Opinions are allowed, of course, but any abuse is not allowed. Right, Joy. You are now a moderator for the remainder of this live. So thank you very much. Right, I don't know. I think is Getting Sicky still here? Yeah, Jamie Varley will not be getting off lightly. I do think a whole life tariff's coming anyway. If you click on their comment, you'll be able to have options of what to do. There you go. Okay. So any abusive comments, right? Any abusive comments, right click, and then yeah, you'll have options. You have a timeout option and stuff like that. There's a zero tolerance for abuse and bullshit on this channel, right? So you right click and hide user from channel or block, whatever option comes up, they're just gone, right? Right, I just need to go for a call of nature one more time. I'm drinking quite a bit of tea here. Hi to Australia, g'day. G'day, Sheila. Thank you to Joy, I appreciate it. Look, someone has put, this is why you don't let two males adopt a kid. There are great gay couples out there that they long to be parents, they long to have a child, but they're gay. So physically, biologically, they can't, can they? So this is not a gay couple issue. I've got a very good friend, very well known, Vanessa Frake, the former governor of Wormwood Scrubs. She's gay. She has a child. This is not a gay couple issue. This is an evil person issue. I know what you're saying, like the mum and dad thing. Some same-sex parents can do heinous acts to children. It is just an evil person issue. That's what it is. I'm just nipping for a call of nature. While I'm gone, what sentence do you think that they will get? What do you want them to get? What do you think they'll get? I will be one moment. How you doing? Right, BRB. Buongiorno, I'm back. I was just getting a charger because this live has been going on for a long time. Let me just plug this in. Right, let's get this plugged in. Right, guys, the sentencing. We're charging. The sentencing will be quite soon. Just seeing it on a little pop-up just came up then saying sentencing is coming up soon. Right. I want to go back to the premeditation. Guys, if you are new here, please hit like on the video. I do appreciate it. It does help spread the video about. It helps grow the channel. And it gets pushed into the algorithm and people from all over the world will stumble across this. Can I ask, how many of you today, and then I'm going to get onto the premeditation aspect of this, how many of you today have stumbled across this channel by means of searching for this case or by scrolling through the live? I'm just quite intrigued. Michael Lawrence. Wow, quite a lot. Wow. Bloody hell. Well, I hope you've all subscribed. There's a lot of you, isn't there? A lot. Oh, that's just about the Bank of England interest rates. Wow, there's so many people that have come across the channel today. Wow, lots of you. Thank you very much. Yeah, hit subscribe on it. Your channel is on Google and I typed in the case. Wow. Well, I actually, that is wild that. I came looking for sentencing and you were first recommended. Love the glasses, thank you very much. I got my Ray-Bans on. I've got a bit of I have to put them up like that because I've got a bit of a wonky head naturally. Well, I've got one ear lower than the other. Thank you very much for all the new subscribers. I really do appreciate it. I'm just going to go on to my playlist now. So if you are new here, then I can let you know. Oh, you found me via Nicola Bully. A lot of people found me via Nicola Bully. So I'm going to go onto my playlist. So you've got an idea of the kind of stuff that I cover. So after this, if you want to go and check stuff out, you can do. So going down my playlist, I've got the MBE Vanessa Frake, former governor of Wormwood Scrubs series. I've got the James Brannigan series. He is a former homicide detective. He helps families where they've had a death and they're not happy with the cause of death, helps them get answers. Some get turned into murder investigations. John Wedger series. John Wedger is a former Scotland Yard detective of 27 years and he uncovered the abuse on Baby P. Great guest. He is very, very informed. Thank you very much. Shout out to Gemma and Jamie. Big shout out to Gemma and Jamie. Clip it up. Keep it. There you go. Hope you're doing all right. I've got the Lucy Letby case playlist. John, and then I've got some families that are lesser known, but I will help I'll try and help and cover. I'll help anyone and cover anything, if it helps. The John Merrick case, the Katie Beattie case, the That's a family where a young lady died in very suspicious circumstances, and I've been working with them since November. That's just been turned in. That investigation has just been reopened from cause of death unknown to reopened. I've got a true crime series review, Chris Watts case, stuff like that. The Madeleine McCann case. Now, Julia Wandell, the lady that went around saying she thinks she might be Madeleine McCann. I've interviewed her on a few occasions. I know that divides people, but I've interviewed her twice. Probably my most known work is the Nicola Bully case. A lot of you will have found me through. A lot of you will have found me through Nicola Bully a few years ago. I tell you what, watch this now, right? Type yes if you found me through Nicola Bully. There should be a lot of yeses. That's my biggest body of work. 37 videos on that case. I did the exclusive interview with Peter Forden, who said that he found Nicola Bully in the river. A lot of you will know that. I don't know what happened to Nicola Bully, but I've got a strong theory on my Nicola Bully playlist. I live in Manchester. Not tell by this accent. No news yet. Still waiting. He should be coming back soon. The judge. All right. Hello to ads. It's always a pleasure. Nicola Bully fell into a river. Well, that's up for debate. Never a chore. Love you, brother. Right. I've got documentaries on here, different documentaries. And then interviews. 42 interviews. I'll reel off while we're waiting for the sentencing. Easy for you to say. I'll go into who I've interviewed if you want to check it out. And the Moors murders, lots of work on the Moors murders, and I've worked with the brother of Moors murders victim, the Moors murders victim, John Kilbride's brother, Terry Kilbride. Thank you for everyone that's subscribed today. Thank you for everyone that's watching. There's 203 people here while we're waiting for the court to decide on sentencing, so I really appreciate it. I rang the courts the other day and I said, is there a chance I can... it's not on Sky News because they're just doing... I don't know, actually. They're just kind of here and there going, right, this impact statement was said. The judge is deliberating now, so, yeah. I don't know how many people are covering the sentencing right now, but I am, clearly. You're very welcome. It was very, very hard before. I was reading out the impact statements and I broke down like I don't know what. Right, I'm going to go on to my people who I've interviewed. Okay. So it's not just true crime, real life stories. So I interviewed a good friend of mine is Charlie Lawson, who played Jim McDonald. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. 1 second. I rang the court. I said, will there be space in the gallery for me to come and watch a sentencing? They said it's reserved for family and for accredited media. I'm not accredited. I'm just a one-man band. Everything I do is just me. Thank you to Frenchie. I've interviewed Peter. I've not interviewed Naughty Peter. I've interviewed Peter many times. I interviewed him when he said he found Nicola Bully. John Wedger, interviewed him many times. Sean Atwood has got one of the biggest true crime channels in the country. Interviewed him. interviewed a friend of mine that was had to flee from Sri Lanka because of the tsunami in 2004. A lot of us will remember that. It killed a lot of people. Yeah, I will touch on the premeditated thing very soon. I interviewed a lady who is an award-winning. She's like drugs and alcohol kind of counsellor, if you will, but she's done some great work. Julia Wandell, who said she thought she was Madeleine McCann. I've interviewed the homeless man in the street. By the way, Julia Wandell said she thought she might be Madeleine McCann. A homeless man in the street. Again, I'll interview anybody. I like talking to people. I like helping people. Lee Marvin Hitchman was born in prison. Interviewed him. A few with James Brannigan. And loads of John Wedger ones. So yeah, go and check it. Right. Did I hear about the guy? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Did I hear about the guy who killed his pregnant wife in Ireland using live stream as an alibi? Yeah, I did, actually, quite recently. Sickening. How can so much damage be done to a baby in just 4 months? It wasn't premeditated. Let's talk about premeditation then, shall we? So, what's very important to note, let me get my notes here, is that this couple, Jamie Varley and John Fazakerley, are a gay couple, okay? Which is absolutely fine. I've got gay friends. Vanessa Frake is gay. She has a child. And she's one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. But they're getting sentenced soon. About an hour ago, they said they're going to deliberate now. Did all the victim impact statements and they're going to deliberate. It should be quite soon. What will happen, the judge will come in and then he'll do like a 10-minute monologue and then he will sentence. And that's what we're here for. Right, premeditation. Right. So a gay couple obviously cannot have biological children. There is ways to go around it by donors and stuff like that. But, you know, biologically, and by your by the gender which you are attracted to, and you know what I mean, you can't have children in that natural way. So I believe it's premeditated because they use sexuality. We can't have children. We want children, but we can't have them. And one was a teacher, a head of a department, I believe, in a school. And we now live in a modern woke world where we have this obsession with ticking boxes, filling quotas. People are scared to be seen as homophobic. Look at the case of Henry Novak, right? And how Henry Novak is the one that got arrested whilst he was dying, but the murderer was stood there, who was a Sikh, and he didn't get arrested because police were probably scared to be seen as racist. It's woke Britain. So I believe they use sexuality, position as a teacher, box ticking, quota filling, to manipulate the system to get a child. And that's what I think. It's not, I'm going to keep saying this, it's not a gay issue. It is evil person issue. 2% of police, 2% of people in the NHS, 2% of people in politics, 2% of teachers, 2% of people in banking, 2% of people are bad. It's just an evil person problem. There was 245 people in the chat. If you can all hit like, it would really help the channel. It would really help the video. This is the probably the second longest live I've ever done. I didn't think it would be this long, but we're all here for it, and I appreciate everyone that's sticking around. Lots of support, lots of new people have subscribed today. And the chat has been largely really, really good. Joy Davenport, are you still there, by the way? I need to make sure I've got a moderator here. I think whole life order. Okay, thank you. I hope you're keeping your eye on the chat. I'm sure you are. Yeah, I think he's going to go to Monster Mansion. That's what I said before. Tony Morph, I said I think he's going to go to Wakefield, Monster Mansion, Frankland, or it'll be Whitemoor. I'm thinking whole life tariff, mate. The defence before for Varley, it was clear that they were trying to do everything in their power to minimise. They were talking about whole life tariff and trying to kind of, find ways to get it. Hold on. Right. 1 second, I got to interrupt. Meant to be sentenced over death of baby boy. The victim impact statements were absolutely heartbreaking. Heart-wrenching. Wayne Couzens is on a whole life tariff because Wayne Couzens used his power as a police officer to falsely arrest Sarah Everard. She must have been absolutely petrified when she realised what was going on. And much respect to that judge for handing down that whole life tariff because he abused that police power. I'm reading impact victim statement from Sarah Davey, who's Preston's biological mother. Every single day I live with the unimaginable pain of wondering what he went through. I will never forgive you for what you did to my son and what you stopped him from becoming and achieving in his life. That's from Sarah Davey, that's Preston's biological mother. Yes, Sky News are very infrequently popping up with, this is the first time that they've mentioned it in about 45 minutes. Preston's foster mother, Preston's death has had a huge impact upon our lives. Preston was going to be the last child we fostered. However, we could not retire after Preston died. We felt we had a duty to other children and could not sit back and enjoy ourselves, knowing that other children were being abused, mistreated, and could die. My husband Paul and I have continued to foster children to protect them. We are doing this for Preston in his memory. And the foster father, Preston was an absolute pleasure to look after. He was the most amazing little boy who lit up the room as you walked into it. He was so small and vulnerable, you couldn't help but love him immediately. Preston's smile was infectious and he brightened up my day from the second he woke up. We are awaiting the judge to return to court. So that's where we are right now. I'm actually quite surprised that there's any comments being held for review when we are covering and talking about the murder and the abuse of a baby that was abused from 9 to 13 months. If you're giving abuse in here or saying things, disgusting things, you should be ashamed of yourselves and you will be blocked like that. No questions asked. There should be, unless it's a language. Can I just say, please, if you, certain words like RAPE, use grape. That's how it is. For, people that have an unhealthy interest in children, please use PDF. Please use your language wisely. We are on a public platform here, and YouTube does not like those words. There's a lot of evil people in the world. Yeah, a lot of people. Well, we're not talking about people ending their own lives, but yeah, unalive is the word that you would use. It is just the way it is. Is it anywhere I can watch the case unfold live on TV? It's not live. They have cameras in the courtroom. They do have cameras in the courtroom, and it will be being filmed, but not live. So when the judge comes back and hands down the sentence, it likely will be filmed, but it won't be shown for a few months down the line. It's not going to be shown live. Like Sky News now talking about, don't know what they're talking about. Bank of England holds base rate of interest. They're popping up every half an hour with something. I've read all the victim impact statements. I'm sticking with this until sentencing has been passed, however long that may be. I thought it'd be about an hour. We're nearly at 3 hours. But the judge, he's got a big job. He's got a big job to do, and he's got a big responsibility here because he's got to send a message out now. He had, like with Wayne Couzens, a police officer off duty, pretending that he's on duty, arresting Sarah Everard, putting her in his car, and then arring her and murdering her. That we are told to run to police when we're younger. We're told to go to them if we're worried or in danger. He got a whole life tariff. This Preston Davey case is so abhorrent. I honestly can't see anything, especially for Jamie, other than a whole life tariff or a minimum of 40 years, and then he'll never get out after that. Yeah, it'll pop up with the breaking news. But I've got the commentary right in front of me, so see, with McGowan, I'm not sure. Maybe 20 years minimum, maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, I've seen that video of Varley. Yeah, he should be in Hollyoaks acting, shouldn't he? But there's no chance of that now, is there? Sorry if you like Hollyoaks, but yeah, it's just it's sickening. And you know what? He was calling for his mother, wasn't he? That mum, mum. Well, where was Preston's caregiver? You know, actual caring, protective caregiver. Judge is back. Right. I am now going to go back onto. I'm following this live commentary. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Right, guys. We're here. We are here. Let me just mute this. Right. Give me 1 second, and then we're back with the sentencing. 1 second. It's not. You can't watch it. I've got a live commentary, a written commentary feed right now. 1 second. 1 second. I need to have a call of nature, but my Right, guys. Okay. This is not on TV. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Jamie Varley and John McGowan Fazakerley have returned to court. His Honour, Mr. Justice Turner, will now pass sentence. Okay. Right, guys. This is big. Right. I'm reading this in real time. So the judge says Preston was 13 months old when he was murdered by you, Jamie Varley, on the 27th of July 2023. Over the previous 4 months, you and John McGowan Fazakerley had been responsible for his care as his adoptive parents. 3 days ago, following a trial lasting 6 weeks, you both convicted unanimously by the jury on an indictment containing 28 counts relating in different ways on different occasions on your unremitting abuse of Preston. We continue, but we are in real time, guys. 300 people here. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. The judge continues. You've been together as a couple since 2019. In December 2021, you registered as prospective adopters. On March the 9th, 2023, you were approved. Preston had been born 16th of June 2022 and was promptly placed in the care of experienced registered foster carers, both who read statements telling of the impact of Preston's death on them. Statements have also been read by Preston's birth parents. The impact on all have been devastating. This is going whole life tariff, I think. The judge continues. This is right now, 12:25. Preston spent his first night with you on March 31st, 23. You, Jamie Varley, were the primary carer. You, John McGowan, were at work but taking active care during evening and weekends. Unfortunately, Preston was restless at night, waking frequently. Otherwise, he was described as a dream to care for. You began to complain that he was not sleeping and it was having an impact on your relationship, Jamie Varley. I do not doubt your professional background as a teacher, and your charm and easy manner did much to reassure professionals all was okay when clearly not. This guy's going down for whole life tariff. On April 17th, you took the first indecent image of Preston. I will not descend into unnecessary detail. Fair play. On April the 19th, you, Jamie Varley, took 2 pictures of Preston in the bath with bruises on his forehead. This was the first of a number of photos showing bruises. Even in the context of babies learning to crawl and sustaining bumps and bruises, there is no doubt through the number and location that these were non-accidental. Post-mortem bruises were found on Preston's head, both legs and arms. Right, that's where we're up to. I am reading this in real time. You are getting this as it's coming in. So as the judge is, here we go. So as the judge is saying this, it's being transcribed and I'm reading it. The judge tells McGowan Fazakerley that he is guilty of allowing the death, well, we know that he's guilty, of a child and child cruelty. You, Jamie Varley, of guilt of physical, psychological and sexual cruelty, he says. This is where we're up to. 317 people in. Keep hitting like. Keep hitting like, guys. Keep hitting it. We're up to date here with the comments. I don't know why we've got messages held for review. Unless you are showing your disgust and you have got foul language, I kind of do get that. Hi, Emma. Just waiting for the next update. They're not even covering it on Sky right now. They've got Donald Trump on instead. Make of that what you will. One second. Where are we up to? Okay. New update. New update, 1 second. 12:28 right now. On May 25th, Preston was admitted to hospital where he had a seizure, the judge says. His condition was attributed to a chest infection, but 2 bruises raised safeguarding concerns which were alerted to the police. The judge says, you gave the reason Preston had started crawling and the bruises were down to him bumping his head. On June 15th, you, John McGowan, were late from work. You, Jamie Varley, took out your frustration on Preston. You took a video of the chilling act of sleep deprivation and sent it to McGowan Fazakerley, who must have had formed a clear view of what you were prepared to do to Preston. It's not looking very good. Not looking very good. Still, there's nothing on the right now. There's nothing on the TV. And like I said, as this comes in live, I will bring it to you. That's the latest from the judge. So what he'll have to do is he'll go through this for a while, like 10 minutes, and then he'll pass down the sentence. They've got an advert on TV. I don't know why this is not being presented live, but I'm here for it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, they're talking about the US and Iran on Sky. Let me just mute this because we're talking about this is talking about something related. Right. Hold on. Hold on. Right. On April the 17th, you took the first indecent image of Preston. I will not descend into unnecessary details. On April 19th, you, Jamie Varley, took 2 pictures of Preston in the bath with bruises on his forehead. This was the first of a number of photos showing bruises. Even in the context of babies learning to crawl and sustaining bumps and bruises, there is no doubt through the number and location of these that they were non-accidental. Post-mortem bruises were found on Preston's head, both legs, back and arms. The judge tells McGowan Fazakerley he is guilty of allowing the death of a child and child cruelty. I've read that one out, sorry. I think I've just read that again. Where are we? Right. The judge says a further video shows Preston very unwell, and Varley reported to Fazakerley he'd had a seizure. I'm sure that was caused by your abuse, he says. He had a broken arm due to abuse. He continues, on June the 30th, he had a temperature and a rash and was vomiting. A nurse again noted bruising. You showed a video of Preston pulling a toy box onto him, but that cannot have caused the bruises because it was taken 2 weeks earlier. On July the 6th, Preston was taken with a fracture on his arm. You gave a variety of explanations, but you, Jamie Varley, were convicted of GBH. 12:31. While Preston had his arm in a cast, you told a friend you were having harmful thoughts relating to drowning or suffocation, the judge said. It was to prove to be a terrible omen. You went on to say you were not going to act on these thoughts, the judge said. 12:32. The judge continues, on July 23, 2023, 4 days before Preston's death, it was a Sunday and you were both at home. Jamie Varley took 7 images showing Preston draped over the bars of his cot with his neck in direct contact with the bars. You do not need medical training to realise this was an alarmingly dangerous position. Nearly 400 people here, wow. You, John Fazakerley, witnessed this, and rather than laying Preston down to rest, took part in a joint SA. His lips were turning blue due to lack of oxygen, forming the basis of the charges of SA. This is the latest update, 12:33 now. The judge says at around 4:30 on the same afternoon, you, Jamie Varley, took a picture of Preston's bottom, which appears abnormal. This is evidence of the assault of penetration. The following day at 7:30 a.m., you, John McGowan Fazakerley, had left for work. You, Jamie Varley, set up your phone to record Preston alone in the bath. The video shows him floundering about and losing his balance. No one, let alone an adopted parent and teacher, could watch this and not realise it was obvious cruelty. I'm having to read really, really fast to keep up with this. I want to bring this to you live. Mum, do you mind another brew, please? Thank you. I'm trying to read fast to keep it live.
Some water as well.
Yeah, please, that'll help. I've got mods. I've got a mod in here. They're doing a good job. Emma, Louise, can I mod you up for the rest of this live? Because I can trust you, Emma. I know that as a fact. No disrespect to anyone else, but I know Emma. She's a very loyal subscriber, commenter. Emma, is that all right? Then we just go. Right. 12:35. Right, Emma. If you see any abuse, right click the comment and hide user from channel, get rid of them. Right. 12:35. Varley did not seek medical attention because of what you had done to him. July 27th was the day of Preston's murder, the judge said. You, Jamie Varley, were alone at home with Preston. At 4:35, he was having a seizure. You videoed it. I'm sure it was caused by your further abuse. His lips were again blue. The expert says he must have stopped breathing for 45 seconds or so and seemed to take no breaths for 15 seconds. He was clearly in need of medical attention. And I'm sure the reason you did not seek it because of what you had done to him. Your abuse that afternoon resulted in further injuries to Preston's pelvic organs found on post-mortem. They were not causative of his death, but they showed sexual assault. Do you know what they've got on Sky now? Breaking news, 2 men being sentenced for spying in China. Mum, look at that.
I know, I can hear you. I know.
Right. They're covering that.
It's funny how they got 2 men being sentenced, but...
Yeah, but for spying in China. Sky are not, at this moment, covering this. They will when it's been finalised. But they are covering 2 men being sentenced for spying in China. Well, I'm giving you the news right now. So the last update was 2 minutes ago. Nothing new yet. So obviously the judge is now speaking, and the transcriber needs to get it. I'll bring that straight away. Okay, update 12:37. You were the only person with Preston that afternoon, Jamie Varley. You did this. You murdered him. You, Jamie Varley, said he made a full recovery of the seizure when you put him in the bath and left him momentarily. And you left him alone in the bath seat, the judge said. There was no evidence of drawing, and the Home Office pathologist formed the conclusion he died from acute upper airways obstruction. I'm sorry to read this. I am sure it was your penis or other hard object that caused the bruising to Preston's throat. That is absolutely no words. You were the only person with Preston that afternoon, Jamie Varley. You did this. You murdered him. 12:38. The judge tells the court that at 6:15, McGowan Fazakerley returned home, but it was too late to save him. He was taken to hospital, but pronounced dead later that evening. This is your latest update. 400 people in the chat. Like the video. Let's get it out there. Let's get it out there. Let's move it around. Sky are not talking about this. Right, well, they're updating as and when, but they're now covering 2 men being sentenced for spying in China. What's grimmer? What's grimmer? That or this? So you've got the latest at the minute. It's absolutely grim. It's absolutely grim. But you have got your latest right now. Do you know what? With what I'm reading, I mean, there is a big argument for the death penalty. I think I will do a video to debate this. I don't know. I don't know why they're not. There should be somebody on the mainstream media right now or on Sky doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm reading it. I'm reading it. There's a commentary that I'm reading. Oh yeah, I will be talking about the death penalty. Yeah, I'm reading Manchester Evening News transcript right now. Right. Hold on. Whoa. Right. Big moment. 12:40 now. Whole life orders are for cases of the most extreme gravity, judge tells court. Right. The judge continues. Judges do not exercise a free-ranging expression when passing sentences, but must follow the guidance of the sentencing council. Whoa. Right. Turning to you, Jamie Varley. There is only one sentence for murder, which is life imprisonment. However, I'm required to determine a minimum term. If there is to be one before you can apply for parole. Let me say that again. I'm required to determine a minimum term if there is to be one before you can apply for parole. Where the court considers the seriousness of the offence, a combination is exceptionally high. The appropriate starting point for an adult is a whole life order. Cases that would normally fall within this include the murder of a child if involved sexual or sadistic motivation. I am sure that your motivation fell within the parameters of this. The facts of this case must leave the court in no doubt that the offender must be kept in prison for the rest of their life. Whole life tariff. He's got a whole life tariff. A whole life order is a sentence of last resort for cases of the most extreme gravity, reserved for a few exceptionally serious cases. If the judge is in any doubt, the minimum term is likely to be the appropriate disposal. I'm going to say it one more time. Where the court considers the seriousness of the offence, a combination is exceptionally high. The appropriate starting point for an adult is a whole life order. I think they've got a whole life order here. I don't know if that's for both of them. I don't know if that's for both. Right, there's no update yet. So I'm going to read that bit again. Because I know I'm talking at 1 billion miles an hour, but I have to do this in real time for you guys. Right, we've got an update now. Right. The seriousness of your offending is exceptionally high. In your case, Jamie Varley, so was that must have been for John. We'll recap at the end. Not only the circumstances of Preston's murder are to be taken into account, but all the offences leading up to it over the previous months. The seriousness of your offending is exceptionally high, even in the general context of murder, and the appropriate starting point is a whole life order. Jamie Varley, has been given a whole life order. And I think John has as well. We'll recap. So the seriousness of your offending is exceptionally high, even in the general context of murder. The appropriate starting point is a whole life order. Get in. What a judge. Aggravating features are: Preston was vulnerable, not just a child, but a baby. Both mental and physical suffering was caused before. There was a gross abuse of trust placed in you as adoptive parents. Guilty pleas would have been relevant, but this cannot be advanced. I accept you did not intend to kill Preston despite the fact it was almost inevitable. Your assault would cause really serious injury. Your assaults fall into the pattern of repeated and persistent abuse. You are of good character, however, that is one of the factors that led to earlier suspicions of your abuse being overlooked by professionals. This is what I mean about using that position as a teacher to manipulate the system. Varley handed whole life order. The judge says, balancing the aggravating and mitigating features, I'm satisfied a starting point of a whole life order is necessary. This is a case of the utmost gravity. You will stay in prison for the whole of your life. You will never be released. Jamie Varley has received a whole life order. That's what I thought, but I didn't have the highest hopes the judge would do this. Let me read this one more time. Clip it. This is a case of the utmost gravity. You will stay in prison for the whole of your life. You will never be released. Not so smug now, eh? A comment. Get in. Mom, that's amazing.
Who's Jamie?
Jamie Varley is the one that got the most charges.
And the other one was John.
Yeah, he's never getting out.
What about John?
I don't think they've done John just yet.
No, because I don't think he's a full life one.
Well, we'll see. Justice has been served. What a judge. What a judge. Smash like on this. Smash like on this right now. What a judge. There is good judges out there. This is amazing. Right, and I also thought this, right. The judge says Varley is convicted of 2 charges of assault by penetration. Preston was particularly vulnerable due to extreme youth. The acts of abuse would be dangerous on each occasion. There was a gross abuse of trust, and you recorded a sexual image of the injury. He says the sentence is 19 years. That must be for, it says, the judge says Varley, but then it says he's sentenced to 19 years. I think that must be John. I thought John would get 20 years, and I thought Jamie would get 40, but I thought it should be a whole life tariff. So it looks like John's got 19 years. No purpose will be served by making an assessment of dangerousness, as you will be in prison for the rest of your life. A bit confused here. Why is he saying, right, I'll make it clear. Yeah, right. Jamie Varley is given a whole life order. That is fact. That is fact. Yeah, it might be concurrent. You're right there. You might be right, yeah. So the 19 years might be concurrent to the whole life order. But if you've got a whole life order, it doesn't matter if you get a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 added. You ain't getting out. So I'm going to make it clear one more time. Jamie, yeah, 19 years for one particular charge. Confirmed, Jamie Varley will never, ever be released from prison. No, the 19 years is a separate charge, but he's already got a whole life order. It doesn't matter if they had 60 years on or 5 years on. he's got a whole life order. So concurrent means, yeah, it runs alongside the main sentence. Justice for Preston, absolutely. Right, another update right now. Varley is convicted of 5 counts of cruelty, the judge says. You subjected Preston to prolonged and persistent cruelty, neglect and sadistic behaviour. It exposed him to a high likelihood of psychological developmental and emotional harm. On the GBH charge, the judge says Preston was vulnerable due to age and circumstances. It was committed in a domestic abuse context. There was an abuse of power and trust. As for indecent images, the judge says no extra penalty will be handed to Varley given the whole life order. One more time, if you are just tuning in, Jamie Varley has been given a whole life order. He is one of about 70 now in the country that have been sent to prison, and they will never get out. I'm not behind. I'm absolutely reading this live. The 19 years is just another one of the charges which runs alongside the whole life tariff. But like I said, it doesn't matter. You've got a whole life tariff. I was hoping it'll be a whole life tariff. I was a bit worried it might be a minimum term of 40 years. Well, we are going to get to John Fazakerley. But yeah, one more time. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but if people are new here, Jamie Varley will never see the light of day again. What a judge. Thank you to that judge. From every one of us. Proper justice. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Prison justice next. Oh, yeah. Don't you know it? Thank you for new subscribers here as well. Really appreciate it. John McGowan sentenced to 18 years for allowing the death of a child. I kind of figured it might be 20 years. The judge moves on to sentence John McGowan Fazakerley for allowing the death of a child. He says you're culpable. Your culpability involves serious neglect of Preston. You failed to take any steps to protect him. You have no previous convictions and are of good character. I will take this as a lead offence alongside the cruelty charges. The judge handed him a sentence of 18 years. So to confirm, Jamie Varley has been given a whole life tariff and will never, ever, 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 ever get out of prison. John Fazakerley has been sentenced to 18 years. Kind of what I thought. I thought 20 years for John. Hoping the whole life tariff for Jamie. Concerned it might be less, but he's got the whole life tariff. What a judge. Knight that judge right now. Right, it now says 25. Sky are now deciding to pick up on it. They're saying John McGowan is jailed for 25 years, but according to my source, it says 18. So we've got two conflicting bits of information here. John Fazakerley, we've got two sources here. One says 18 years, one says 25. We don't know just yet. I'm getting two sources of information. But what is fact is that Jamie Varley will never leave prison, ever. Right. Let's keep refreshing this. Okay. Right, there's more charges. 8 years to run concurrently for child cruelty. On the cruelty charges against McGowan Fazakerley, the judge says this involves serious neglect giving rise to a risk of psychological, developmental and emotional harm to Preston over a long period. He says the sentence is 8 years to run concurrently to the other charges. So that is at the same time. So that would still be 18 years because concurrently is at the same time they run alongside each other. Consecutively it would be 18 years, then you would serve your 8. So it's concurrently. So it is 18 years as a whole. 25 years is for both charges at this moment. Bloody hell. And we've got someone else down there putting their own news in. Lanky, breaking news. You're both moderating. I need more than 2 when there's 420 people in here. You're both moderating. Yeah. For a live like this, I need more than 1. So where do we stand? What time is it? Right, we've got a new update. 12:54. On the charges of SA of a child, the judge says Preston was particularly vulnerable and you acted together with Varley in an abuse of trust. He says the sentence is 7 years. Consecutive. So that is added on. So he's got 18 years plus 7 years. So we are at 25 years for John Fazakerley. So the 18 years will run and then the 7 years will start. That makes 25. Your good character is a very modest mitigating factor. Your egregious, I don't know what that word is, behaviour on this day falls for a consecutive sentence. On the cruelty charge, he says it is a high culpability case involving gratuitous degradation of Preston and hands John McGowan Fazakerley a concurrent sentence of 6 years. Right, just so we all know where we're up to at this moment in time with the concurrent sentences and the consecutive. John McGowan Fazakerley will serve 25 years at this point. He will serve 25 years. Jamie Varley will never see the light of day. Okay? So John's had 3 charges at the minute. It's an 18-year, a 8-year concurrent to run alongside, and then a 7-year consecutive, which gets added on. So 1 is whole life tariff, no light of day. 1 is 25 years. Hope this is making sense. Right, this is my final statement. Total sentence of 25 years for McGowan Fazakerley. The total sentence for John McGowan Fazakerley is 25 years. He will serve 2/3 in custody before being released on licence. Jamie Varley has a whole life tariff. He'll never leave prison. The judge says you may take them down. The judge pays tribute to dignity and restraint shown by everyone in court. The judge pays tribute to the dignity and restraint shown by all in court during an extremely challenging and difficult emotional experience. He also thanks the jury and the legal teams. There we go. There we go, guys. So just one final time. John McGowan Fazakerley has got 25 years. Jamie Varley has got a whole life tariff and will never see the light of day again. Wow. 3 hours. But Jamie Varley, the worst of the worst, has got what he needed to get. And John has got the 25 years. What a judge. What an absolute judge. Justice has been served. Prison justice will now come into effect. We all know that. Okay, we all know that's going to happen. Guys, I need to go and have a little walk. Thank you very much for everybody who has been here today. Justice has been served. Final time. Whole life tariff, Jamie Varley. It will never see the light of day. 25 years for John McGowan Fazakerley. Final thoughts go to Preston Davey. He's not in pain anymore. He's not being abused anymore. And he's up there somewhere, if you believe in that kind of stuff. He's not in pain. And those two they're off on their way. They're off on their way to prison. And also, I've noted someone's made a comment. There was no reaction in the doc, and I didn't think there'd be a reaction because Jamie Varley's reaction is all about putting the tears on and all this. Feel sorry for me. Now he's had a whole life tariff. Doesn't need to act anymore. See you later, mate. Goodbye. Let's see what happens in prison. He will be looking over his shoulder, as they both will, for the rest of their lives. Jamie Varley has a whole life tariff. John McGowan Fazakerley has 25 years. Let's not forget about Preston Davey. Rest in peace to him. My final thought and my final comment goes to Preston Davey. And thank you to you guys for being here. Right. That's it, guys. Thanks for being here. For anyone that's just arrived today, for any new, for anyone that's found this channel today, thank you for subscribing. And thank you for following this very, very, very long podcast. Someone's just asked, will he serve full 25? No, he'll do 2/3 and then he'll do 1/3 of it on parole, you know, on license. But Jamie Varley will never see the light of day again. Rest in peace to Preston Davey. That's my final word. Thank you, everybody. Peace out.